Greetings and welcome to One Sparkle Love Church. And today's sermon session is staying in the get-go. There are some people that can't stay in the get-go and they give up. Well, what you going to accomplish when you can't stay with the get-go? Now, if you're a cardinal personality, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, these particular personalities can start a project, but they can't stick with the get-go. They, lose the momentum of the energy. All right? Then you got your fixed personality, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. Dude, they're conserving things and resistant to change. Boy, do I know that. I got relatives that are Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. My mama, that's a Taurus, says, I'm an ostrich and I keep my head in the sand. Y'all are funny. And then for the Leo, I know a few people that are co-workers. I see the same thing. They don't want to change. What is the big deal? Dude, change is inevitable. Get with the program. The program is called life. And then you got the mutable personality, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces. Mutables are adaptable to change, and they're very versatile. So when they see something that is inspiring, they will pick it up and develop it. And of course, they say they lack stability in keeping up with the project. You see? So, I've heard that all my life because I'm a Gemini. And in my mind, it's always, really? You want it? You got it. So I'm going to stick with that bad boy. I'm going to make that bad boy work out. And that project is only your wishful thinking because I will make it happen. And that's life. And that's the way I am. And I learned about having that stability, staying power. With that in mind, I pretty much in my 20s and 30s, I worked full-time, part-time college, raised my 2 kids, and married. And then in my 30s, I threw in the military on top of that, all right? Now, typically, I would have 2 and 3 jobs at one time, or 1 full-time job while going to college, because I have a certain amount of things I must complete in this lifetime. Now, when I turned, I think early 50s, I would have been before 55, because I'm almost 61 now, so it would have been before I'm 55. So, back it up, I was in my late 40s, because that's when I was going through my last modeling job. I've been a model since I was 12, so that would have been my late 40s. And then I started bumping it up and kicking it in. I am hardcore. Hardcore work. Hardcore rest. Hardcore fun. I'm hardcore. That means when I do it, insurmountable passion into that project that I'm working on. Because I will conquer that bad boy. And create it so it becomes my own. Okay? So, I'm now in my early 50s, and I decided, you know what? I finished school. I got my bachelor's, master's, and Ph.D. So I finished school, and then what do you do with your papers? What, do you just throw them away? Your master's thesis and doctoral and all that good jazz? You throw them away? No. You take those papers and you turn them into a book. Then after the book is done and it's published and all that, what do? You must promote it. Well, how do you promote your book for free? You go into competitions. So I was in training for 2 different competitions. Vegan bodybuilding and belly dancing. So it's vegan bodybuilding, belly dancing. You see? So it's 2 different competitions I was in training for. Now, mind you, I did aerobics for 40 years. Then I decided to bump it up a notch and decided to go into competitions. So while I'm in training, I start out at home. Because why do I want to waste the time, money, and energy going to the gym when you could do a lot at home? You don't need any equipment. Now, I was up to 200 crunches. And this I did at home. Now, remember the movie Officer and a Gentleman, where it's raining, and that drill sergeant was down there screaming at that guy's face, saying, Mayo, you're going to quit. Mayo, because, whatever his last name was, they were trying to write, his leader was trying to make fun of his name, like mayonnaise, so he called it Mayo. So, how he laid there on the ground with his foot, both his feet, an inch off the ground. Do you know that straight up hardcore toning on your gut muscle? Because remember, you keep your gut tight, your core tight, well then you won't have any lower back pains when your core is tight. So I was doing 200 crunches, and I got up to those leg lifts, and I was doing to the count of 200. Then it was, time. After all the workouts I did at home, it was time to start the gym. So I started going to the gym, and I was up to 600 crunches a day. Did that 4 days a week. Now, when you work out, you're doing 3 days a week on the arms, all that, the upper body, 3 days a week. You do 3 days a week on lower body. Crunches, you're going to do them every day, 6 days a week. Then you have 1 day rest. Because otherwise, you're weakening your muscles. When you do it 7 days a week, your body must have rest. You're breaking down the muscle mass if you do it 7 days a week. So that's why you have to switch it up. 3 days on the bottom, from the waist down, and 3 days from the waist up. All right? Now, when I was, teenager or younger, I wanted to go in the Olympics. Because I'm what they call double jointed, which is very flexible. I wanted to go in the Olympics. But of course my family didn't have the money, so I didn't even mention it. I'm like 5 years old and I'm climbing trees, climbing roofs, because I had a stepfather that was a roofer, so I'm up there playing on the roof. So I've always been a tomboy all my life because I'm a very, very physically active person. They say women need weight training. Well, why do you think I'm a professional landscaper for over 30 years? Free weight training. You don't need to go to the gym. Dude, they pay me to work out, and I'm working out in the desert. So talk about sweat. Dude, sometimes we can get up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. If you work at the airport, it get up to 125 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty hellaciously hot. So, I couldn't work at the airport. That's too hot for my blood. And I don't know what the turnout of rollover is unemployment there, but Y'all can have that job. No, thank you. I would not want to be a person that lays tar on the streets. You know, it's all black. It's like, that's some stanky stuff. I could never do that. So, you know, y'all can keep that job. There's certain jobs in life like, no. I don't care how much you pay me. I would not work with that stinky stuff. So, there are certain jobs that you're made for and certain jobs you aren't. I was made for landscaping. And you learn so much of how it relates to your everyday life when you learn how to develop your natural birth skills. And naturally, the way things flow, I truly believe in my heart, I actually had something to do with horticulture in my past life. Now, my past life could have been, I don't know, I've had a few different reports that I've gotten about my past life, of where I was and who I was and all that. And it wasn't really ever mentioned about what my job title was in any of those past lives. But I pretty much have a good feeling. There's no way that I know so much knack about nature that you don't learn in school. And I already know what to do. It's like at work, I'm trying to teach my coworker. We're not just gardeners. I'm teaching him how to be a landscape architect. Because when you're designing the landscape, it's the same thing as gardening, is the same thing as decorating, it's the same thing as feng shui. They all come in three. So you think of a letter V or letter W. When you're putting out your plants, when you're decorating in your home, anywhere, all three go together. All right? So you take all of that information, you then also, it's life. You apply that trilogy to your life. That means that you divide your 7 days a week up into, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Get my float the boat. So, to break it down, make it simple, you got the bottom half, you stretch out and work out and all that good jazz. The bottom half of your body, 3 days a week. Top half of your body, 3 days a week. 1 day of rest and relaxation. Now, in my training, I'm doing up to 600 crunches. I still do the aerobics. I'm jogging, what was it? Couple miles. But at the school, you run the track and you jog. I jogged up the bleachers at the high school. Jog up the bleachers 25 times up and 25 times down. And when I jog around the track, I wasn't jogging forward. I was jogging backwards. When I go forward, I would do lunges around the track. And if you don't know what a lunge is, then most people stay in one spot. I walked around doing lunges at the track. Now, when I did my PTs for the military, to get in, you have to jog or run a mile, I don't know, within a few minutes. I don't remember. That was so long ago. That was like over 30 years ago. I don't remember. But I went to the elementary to practice, and I would jog around the track. And you got to jog around 4 times to make 1 mile. So that's what I did. And then, of course, years later, I'm in training to promote my books. That's the whole point of going into competitions. How do you promote your books. You go into competitions. So I already know on my bikini, it will be the words of the book, 5 in 1. It'll be in bling bling highlights, pink, right? So I already know that my hair is going to be like, I don't remember her name. She was in the movie Star Wars, where she had the buns on each ear, on each side. And it's going to be the tiny braids. The whole hair is going to be tiny braids, and each one is going to be a different color. It's like rainbow. It's going to be buns, then it's buns into my ear, okay? So I'm going to have that. I'm going to wear the bikini, and the bikini is going to have the, like, neon color promoting my book, 5 in 1. So when you go out on stage, and those judges be looking at me because I'll be doing a pose while I'm doing vegan bodybuilding, right? So I do my pose, and as I go to turn, I just do a little belly dance, and then pose again. You see what I'm saying? You get a 2-for-1 there, my friend. And then, of course, I will be doing belly dancing competitions. I watch those things, and I'm so amazed. It is such a workout. I don't know. It's like, it's a lot more than doing aerobics and grapevines and whatnot, okay? So, I'm getting back into it, so I'm back in training. And right now I'm doing 3 sets of 15 crunches. Of course, I have to do this before work, so it's at 4:30 in the morning. Now, typically, every morning, I do my meditation, my affirmation, and my stretching. All 3 items, that's a max of 15 minutes. Affirmation, 5 minutes. Stretching, 5 minutes. That's a full body stretch, 5 minutes. And then my meditation, 5 minutes. Okay? So you got to do your increments of 5 in trilogy. So you must stretch out every day. And do it in the morning, because in the night when you're sleeping, you're going into another dimension, another reality, and when you're doing another dimension, you're going to pick up those toxins, and then you're going to bring it back, and you have to process it, because otherwise the muck will get stuck within your being, and you have to release the toxins. You do it through stretching. And when you meditate, you do a meditative breath, because you're releasing the toxins. Same with the affirmations. You're releasing the toxins. That's why you do that all in the morning. The world begins to meditate at 4 a.m. My creative juices are flowing at 4 a.m. If I don't write stuff down, guess what? 6 a.m., dude, I done forgot everything. Because it's time to move on for the day. I just clocked in for work and time to go. You can't remember that stuff no more because you're busy doing what you need to do. Now, getting back into the training does take discipline. But I've been disciplining myself in my life, all of my life. Because when they told me, you're a Gemini and you don't have staying power, I thought in your mind only. Because I will do this. And whatever it is in life, I do it. Because that's who I am. Don't tell me what I can't do. I remember I was working with this one coworker. We're emptying out the truck bed. And he looks at me and he goes, "You can't tell this woman no." And I'm looking around like, who's he talking about? Later I figured out, oh, he's talking about me. No, don't tell me no, because I will prove you wrong. You want it, you got it, and that's what I do. So the best thing to do is don't complain. Because you complain, I will take that thing away. Moving on. That was so yesteryear. I don't got time for these hang-ups in life. I got things to do, place to go, and people to see. I remember the last time I was in training before cancer. That's why I quit, because I got cancer. Last time I was in training, I started going to the gym, working out, and you get a, personal trainer. One time, for free. So I was talking to the guy, and another lady, she was there at the table also. And I told her, well, go ahead. She goes, no, you go first. I said, are you sure? She said, yeah. I said, okay then. Here you go. Boom, 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 boom. Vegan body, belly dancing. I'm working out this much every day, right? And then he needed to give me a workout plan for that particular type, those two for competition. He goes, well, I've never really come across that before. I'll have to do my research on that. I said, okay. He goes, come back in a week and I'll give you the plan. I said, okay. And the lady that was sitting there at the table, she looks at me and she goes, I'll see you on the news. It was so funny. Dude, are you working out just to work out? No, you better have a purpose for whatever you do in life. You're going to do this, the purpose is for that. You don't do it just to do it. What's wrong with you? I say kill two birds with one stone. And curiosity kills the cat. Well, there you go. What does that tell you? So I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something for a purpose. Not just for that thing. My goodness, how boring is that? My mama said one time, she's a funny lady. Where she comes up with this stuff, I'll never know. That's probably where I got a lot of my inspiration from. Mama and her wisdom. So, she looks at me one day and she goes, most people go to the beach to enjoy. You go to the beach, you build a sandcastle, you populate that sandcastle, think of all the natural catastrophes that could happen, and then you do things to prevent it. That's what you do at the beach. Well, yeah, of course. You don't just have one thing. Remember, I am the twins. That means whatever I do, I have to satisfy each twin. Just like you got two kids at home. You go to the store, you don't just buy one item, you buy two. You gotta satisfy both kids. It's the same thing. So that's why in the Gemini's world, you gotta have two of everything. Let me tell you though, it's really not a good idea to, let's see, have two husbands or two wives, right? These are just tangibles. Monetary, house, car, your VCR. Yeah, you gotta have things that rhyme. Makes life fun. You gotta have two of everything. I mean, one breaks down, you're in the middle of doing whatever. Are you going to run to the store and go get a whatever you ran out of at the time you were cooking or whatever? No. So you got to make sure you have two of everything because you don't want to run out in the middle of your project. That's very frustrating and aggravating, and I don't need the frustration or aggravation. So I must have two of everything. And then, each twin every once in a while wants its own two. So I have to have four of everything. It's like, dude, seriously, you got to be able to stock up on minuscule amounts of stuff in your minuscule amount of living quarters. That's why you think small. And when I'm doing projects, I typically think of females in dormitories in college. You only have a certain amount of space, and you must use every increment of that space. So when you have something, it better be versatile and be able to do more than one thing. It's like that movie Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, where he had to go on in her closet, and you push a button, and her closet would rotate the shoes, so the front would go in the back, and the back would come in the front, and it's like that. You got to be very versatile. And you're making that drawer, make little compartments in that drawer. And then you have like a little box in the drawer, but built into the drawer. So you're going to lift that box up so you don't got to go put your jewelry box somewhere else. It's right there in your drawer. And you lift up the little deal, and then you don't lose your necklaces and whatnot. It's stuff like that. You want to make it more compartmentalized to make it more organized. So it's pretty easy stuff. Now, in my training, I'm much more organized. Now, I smoked cigarettes for 45 years. Yeah, the doctors always send me for this stupid test, breathing test. And it comes back, everything's normal, and I look at them. Well, why wouldn't it be? How can I be working out on the treadmill and the Stairmaster while I'm chewing, what do you call that? To quit smoking gum? I forgot. It's been so long. I lived on that stuff for 2 years. You're not supposed to, but dude, they don't help. To quit smoking gum and lozenges and all that. No, I did 2 years of gum and 2 years of lozenges. And it's like, dude, that stuff doesn't work. So I was talking to my family. I said, I'm going to go get some Chantix. And one of my family members said, oh no, because it'll make you crazy. If you have crazy in the family, it'll give you, it'll make you elusive. It'll make you crazy. And I just said, bring it on, because I'm going to quit smoking, all right? Because I'm like having a lot of pain in my head, so I didn't know. Maybe it was the smoking is what was giving me the migraines. Well, a couple of years later, come to find out, it was actually the cancer eating the bone in my head. That's why I had the migraines. It wasn't because of smoking. And I was so mad. I had to quit. And I always say jokingly, I said, I'm like Granny on Beverly Hillbillies. I'm going to smoke a cigar, come out with my shotgun and my dress, and don't nobody be stepping on my property. I'm going to blow your butt away. Hey, hey, hey. So, she was one of my heroes, Granny on Beverly Hillbillies. Now, for training, you want to focus on how you stretch. Technically, if I had the time, I did it for a while. Technically, you should stretch for 30 minutes. Seriously. I had a masseuse. I went to Massage Envy for 2 years. And I asked the masseuse, I said, why does it take so long for some of the muscles to stretch out? And he goes, it just depends upon how tight they are. Which makes sense. And trust me, all masseuses are not the same. You have different type of massages. You have different type of masseuses. And I always had to go for the deep tissue simply because as a landscaper, you're working them muscles in deep. Not the surface of the muscle, in deep. So I always had to go for a deep tissue. Because when you're working with heavy equipment, you got to get the toxins out. So if at all possible, a lot of us have a pretty busy lifestyle. You don't have 30 minutes. And that would be 30 minutes every day. Now you got to do your stretching before and after your workout. Now my 30s, I don't believe in just one job. How boring. That's a waste of space, waste of life. No. Utilize it to the capacity you were meant to do. And, don't be a girly girl. Don't be a wuss. Dude, hardcore. Hardcore workout. Hardcore play. Hardcore rest. Hardcore. Life is for the living, not the living dead. Okay? So, when I'm working out, I did my lunges at the gym. Okay? Walking back and forth in front of where everybody's weight training. I'm walking back and forth with the lunges while I got the barbells in my hands. So, the left leg goes out, and then as it does, your left arm goes up with the barbell. And then your right leg goes out, and your right arm goes up with the barbell. So you're killing two birds with one stone. So I did that for a while, and then I'd go and jump on another machine. And after a couple of days of doing that, there was people up in front doing the same thing that I'm doing. And the thing is they couldn't handle it. I seen them do it once, and after that, they physically could not do it because they hadn't been toning up. They hadn't been doing this for a long time. You can't just jump in this stuff. You got to have the staying power. And didn't I just tell you who is fixed and who's mutable type personalities, okay? So if you know you're that type of personality, that means you have to work harder for staying power. That's why a lot of people say in their New Year's resolution, I'm going to do this and that, and dude, 2 weeks later, they ain't doing it. That's why your New Year's resolution starts any time of the year. And it's time to take a drink. You take a drink too. Now, in landscaping, you're working out in the heat, you must get plenty of water. That means between working out at work, it's called a job. Why am I going to go pay for the gym when someone is paying me to sweat, to work out? And I'm going to get paid to work out, okay? So you got to drink plenty of water. Now remember, if you're working in 110 degree weather, Fahrenheit, you got to drink a lot of water. Because you can get what's called heated exhaustion. And when you do, you're asking for a heart attack. So you've got to drink plenty of water. Now, I was a whopping 135 pounds, okay? And we're talking solid poundage of muscle from all the workout. And I don't want to be vulgar or say the wrong political thing or whatever, but many people have told me I had a black girl's butt, okay? Whatever. I really don't care. Did I do it for y'all? No, I did it for me. Come on, how can you look that gorgeous at age 50, all right? Now, what inspired me first to get it all started was this lady She didn't start working out till she was 55. And the woman was in competitions at over 70 years old. Dude, that is so inspiring. Because everybody I know is sicker than a dog all the time. Or, you know, I got aches and pains and I don't want to hear it. I want to hear you getting up out of that chair and getting over there. And you're learning how to do some slowly but surely lunge. Slowly but surely this kind of workout, that kind of workout, and so on and so forth. You see? So, every morning when I do my stretches, as I do my full body stretch, all standing up, I'm doing a bit of yoga in there, so I'm doing some downward dog and whatnot. So you got to put it all together, and you're creating your own routine. Now, I have a slip disc in my between my third and fourth vertebrae, so the physical therapist showed me the neck rotations that I do, so I do that when I do my stretching. Now, I used to pull a lot of muscles, because you got to figure, some of this equipment is 75 to 100 pounds pure metal that I am lifting. So what I need to go to the gym for when I'm doing it at work. So some of this stuff is heavy equipment. Now, when I'm picking this up, where my shoulder blade is, but in the front. It's on my chest muscle near my shoulder blade, okay? And right there, I would pull those muscles a lot. So the masseuse, he showed me how to stretch that out. So I do that in my morning stretches. So always, you know, the sciatic nerve, oh my God. I thought, how is this even possible? That burning sensation shooting down in the back of my leg, like, oh my goodness, where did this come from? Well, I got it because I wasn't stretching. So that doesn't come up anymore, I learned how to do stretching. So for each injury I receive in life, I learned these are the body parts I must stretch whether I want to or not. Do I want to feel pain? Of course not. So it's called PM, preventive maintenance. Now in landscaping, you have a plant. The plant is called a host. Now in order to keep that host healthy, so that it doesn't have the invasions of bacteria and viruses, you learn how to care for that plant. And as I always say, plants talk to you, you just have to know how to listen. When they start changing color, they're like, Mama or Papa, Mama, I'm thirsty. Mama, I'm hungry. Okay, it's a life form. Get with the program. Take care of it and it'll take care of you. That's the way life is. Now, when you're paying attention to that, it is a host. If it is healthy, being a host is not so much. But when the plant is not healthy, it is a host to bacteria, viruses, bugs, weed infestation, on and on and on, right? So, it's the same thing with humans. We are hosts. When we are sickness, illness, disease, we are a host that's inviting bacteria and viruses. What you cannot see can hurt you more than what you can see. What you cannot see will hurt you more than what you can see. Pay attention. That is equating to viruses and bacteria. So that's why you must do PM, preventive maintenance. The more PM you do, the more that you will protect the host. And as my mama said, I go to the beach, I build a sand castle, populate it, and think about all the natural catastrophes so that I could do PM, preventive maintenance, which is the same thing you do for yourself and your life. That's why you must create the kosher motif. Now, when it comes to nutrition, I'm a holistic nutritionist. WHOLISTIC, holistic, because it is the whole four bodies of being. We're not talking about one. We're not just talking about the mind. We're talking about the mind, body, emotion, spirit. All four quadrants in personality. Now, every meal I cook has 50 ingredients, 50. I grocery shop once every 6 months. I cook once a week. I was not born to cook and clean. I don't have the time, money, or energy to waste on that every single day of my life. I have other things to do, places to go, people to see, and things to do. I don't have time to be hanging out in the kitchen. I was not born to cook or clean. You do it just to satisfy those dust bugs that eat you alive. It's called dust. So you do it to keep virus and bacteria away from the host. This is why you clean. That means it's an equivalent to 3, maybe 4 weekends. All right? You are prepping, drying out your fruits and veggies. Anywhere between 3 to 4 weekends, 16-hour days, so that you can have 6 months of food stocked up. Your food that was fresh now becomes dried out. Once you add it to water, poof, it inflates and you got food. All right? Now, it's much more healthier when you dry them out and then you put them in mason jars. That's what I do. And I'll have to be going soon. So, the end of this month, it's almost the end of the month. I got 4 months. I don't have to go to the grocery store until the end of next month. I'll still have food, but some of it has already, I've used it all, but I still have a lot of another, and, still have 50 ingredients. So, this way, when I go, I could be stocking up on my summer veggies and fruits. So you will have your summer foods in the winter. 6 months later, you will have your winter foods in the summer. So you are making sure you're getting those fruits and vegetables all year long. I don't use a pressure cooker. I don't use any of that kind of stuff. Vacuum pack. I don't use any of that stuff. I just dry out my fruits and veggies with my dehydrator, or dry them out in the natural sun, which doesn't cost any money. You don't plug in the sun. And the sun is male energy, and the moon is female energy. Now, when I'm drying them out, it's going to take you a batch. Could be about typically 8 hours. 6 to 8 hours, depending upon what the product is. Your dark leafy greens get dry within 6 hours. Your oranges and things like that can take up to 12 hours. So it depends upon what the product is, how long it takes. And once you do that, then you put it in your mason jars. Well, I have the gallon size mason jars. Let's see, when you get the honey, no, that's 5 gallons. Of honey. So I use those size jars, mason jars. So then you store them in there. because I don't store in cans or plastic. That's disgusting, because then your food is saying, hey, come on, viruses and bacteria, come on, let's make this host sick. Y'all are disgusting. Throw away your canned goods and throw away your plastic. Stock up on your mason jars. You got children? Well, guess what? You make sure your stuff is in the cabinet away from the kids, because this is glass. All right? Maybe they have some easy bake oven toy mason jars you could get for your kiddos. I don't know. I haven't done that stuff, and let's see, my daughter's 42, and my son is 39, and in 2 months he'll be 40, so I haven't done that kiddo stuff in a long time. My grandkids, I have 5, they live in other states. So what do you do when you're in your 50s? Thank God for exes, ex-husbands, thank you very much. Thank God for exes. Kids are all grown up. Dude, it's the second half of your life. Enjoy it. Life is for the living. Boom, get it done. You're going to be, hey, find them projects and kick it up a notch. My 50s, I'm working out. Ready to go into competitions. Lo and behold, smack, I got cancer. My 3rd cancer. Well, let's see. We got 3 ex-husbands. We got 3 different types of cancers. There's a coinky-dink in that, right? Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that cancer didn't come from the food. Cancer came from the emotions. Because when you're like me and you're an empath and you're very passionate about what you do, and that is fire energy. When you're very passionate and you throw your whole self in, you lose yourself. Because in the relationship, you're a people pleaser. You lose yourself. So everything that I wanted to do, no husband ever asked, what is your aspirations? What is your goals? They never ask this stuff. They always think that they're the ones in lead. Thank God I've been divorced for 18 years. Thank you very much. I love being single. Now, of course I dated. I stopped dating after, let's see. I've been here 5 years, so I stopped dating about 6 years ago. It was just a waste of space because then, for some reason, they like to get in the way of progress of whatever you're creating. They don't bother to ask so that they could maybe learn from you because they think they're the ones always in charge and they don't want to learn from you. Like, y'all are just taking my space. Get out. Get away from me. Let me do what I need to do in life. Why did I accomplish so much in order to throw it away because you want to just do a little bit of this and a little bit of that in life? That's not my world. If I'm hardcore on myself, I expect a lot out of myself. I expect a lot out of you. This is why I thank God for exes, because they can't handle my world. I'm in professional landscaping for over 30 years. What's in landscaping? All men. 8 school districts, 3 different states. A lot of men, they don't want to work with me. Why? Because I make them work. Dude, we're not here to gossip. We're not here to chit-chat. We're not here to whine. We're here to work. That's what we get paid for. That's what we do. And of course, if they had work ethic, they would know this already. And men have said, you're intimidating because I work. Another one said, you work like a man. Well, what else am I supposed to do? This is a landscaping job. It's supposed to be man's world. Please, don't waste my space. Give me the big boy toys. Thank you very much. Don't give me the little girl toys. I'm not going to go no home improvement, ride them little baby riding mowers, please. My mower is almost 5 times the size of that, okay? I'm not going to be running around in the field like Forrest Gump mowing his lawn. No, I do acreage, baby. I had 22 schools. That's high school, junior high, and elementaries. The high schools now have the fake grass. Well, good luck with that. Because anyone that has allergies, it's like dirty carpet. I couldn't breathe. We have to set up for graduation. I couldn't breathe. What's wrong with you? So no. I'll go do something else. I could trim bushes and all that, but I could not be around that dirty carpet. How many children have allergies and they're going to think they're going to play football on that dirty grass? And yet they bring out those sweepers. What's wrong with you? We live in a dust bowl called the desert, and you got fake grass on out there? Who was the brainiac that thought that one up? And did you know they have to replace that every 10 years and it costs $10,000? Yeah, where's the school budget going to now? Okay, you didn't hear that from me. All right. Yeah, that's why, you keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. And why do you think I work for the government? Okay. Oh, too much fun. Now, last time, okay, so we got 3 cancers, 3 divorces, and 3 times in my life, I lost, within 6 months, I lost 65 pounds. I know how to put it on. I know how to take it off. Now, I will say, okay, June of 2020, they told me I was cancer-free. 2 days after my birthday. Yay! Okay. That was 2020. It is now 2024. So in June, they'll tell me I have 4 years cancer-free. Yay! Okay. Do a little happy dance, all right? Now, it took, during the radiation cancer, chemo cancer treatments, so I was doing both. And you cannot eat. Okay, nobody can eat when they go through chemo. It just doesn't work. So I didn't eat nor drink any water for almost 4 months. So it's easy to lose 65 pounds. You just don't eat. So I didn't. And when I'm done, then afterwards I have to go for other type of test. And one of them was, that yearly women deal. The doctor sent me for a mammogram. I keep thinking, why y'all waste my time? If I just get them removed, I don't have to deal with this crap anymore. Inquiring minds want to know. Dude, I'm going to buy you the freaking magazine. So inquiring minds want to know. The doctors want to know so they can prevent something from happening. They don't prevent anything. They don't cure anything. They only treat, because if they cured, they'd be out of a job. It's called job security. All right? So, if I lose that amount of weight, lo and behold, I go for a mammogram. Now, the machine by itself picks up and moves 5 times. I start giggling. I'm like, what's going on here? So I asked the nurse, what's the deal with this? You know what she said? She said that the machine is confused. It's not used to somebody having very little body fat. I confuse machines all the time. And not just with that, because I have high levels of energy. No, some people have high levels of iron, and they can't wear certain carats, like 24 karat gold and stuff. I have high levels of energy. So when I go the grocery store and stuff, and sometimes the machines don't work right, or the cashier would say, I didn't know I was doing that. I said, listen, I'll go outside and it'll work and I'll come back and everything is good. I kill machines because my energy is so strong. So this is why me and electronics have never been friends. And it knows it. Okay? Who is the dominant and who is subordinate? You are a machine, I'm in charge, and I'm large. So back it up, and either you work or you don't, or you hit the trash pile. It's that simple. I don't have time for no fun and games. This is called work. If y'all had work ethic, you'd know this. I worked with my mother in accounting for many years. And trust me, you learn work ethic from mama. And when you do, then you carry that throughout your life. And that's why pretty much everybody now, it took years, we're talking several hundreds of men in operations. You got carpenters, you got electricians, all of them, several hundreds. Everyone knows me. And they know when they come over to my side of town, because I work on the east side shop, they work on the west side shop. Been there like 20 years. They all know me. Even the newbies know me. I don't know the newbies. Newbies only been around a couple of years. That's a newbie. If you've been in the district we have 15 years, you're not a newbie. Okay? So they all know me. And someone would come and work on the east side, and they'd be like, I heard about you. And I said, well, what did you hear? They said, you get the job done. Everybody knows. It's called work ethic, folks. We're not here to whine and whimper. We're here to get the job done. So the last project that I'm working on right now at work is we finally finished pulling out 250 bushes. And that 250 bushes took about 2 years. A bush is overgrown. And I'm 5'2". So just imagine, put two of me, one on top of the other. So these bushes about 10 foot wide. That's how overgrown they were. 10 foot wide and pretty close to almost 5 feet high. So yeah, it took a while because now they're doing water conservation. Dude, I'd be trying to trim them up for 15 years. Nobody liked the way I trimmed because I get in and I get the job done. It's called get her done. So I get in and get the job done, and guess what? A lot of the principals, a lot of the staff were mad at the way that I trim. Fine, so I stopped for years, and now they're doing water conservation, getting rid of, I didn't know. I just got tired of hearing the whining from the guys at the shop. There's too many bushes. Well, you know what? One day I got up, I went over there, and I just started hacking that crap away. Remember, in decorating. Decorate your home in feng shui, your landscape, which is your gardening. You have 3 that you think of in the design, landscape architect, in the design of your garden, your home, your life, everything has to be balanced in 3. That is trilogy. Now, trilogy must have work ethic. Just like your workouts at the gym, you must have work ethic. Because you're devoting your time to yourself. So instead of devoting your time in a relationship, you must take time out for yourself and devote for yourself. I learned that sucker the hard way. I'm one of those people that's hard-headed. And it takes time to learn it. Nobody likes change, but change is inevitable. Get with the program. It's called life. Now, as I'm getting back into my training, I'm training because it's age becomes wisdom. You learn about the things you want and things you don't want in life. I don't want pain, so I must work out. If you don't use it, you lose it. And then you get atrophy and rickets. I don't need that kind of pain. Now you have to think the opposite. Okay? Certain body parts, you have to move them in the opposite direction in order to tone and conquer. Now, with that light body weight, so I'm like next to no body fat, I had to beef up a little bit because my goal has always been wanting to be 113 pounds. That was my goal. I did it. Of course, I didn't eat for 4 months, but I finally got to my goal. Well, I come to find out, well, really, it doesn't feel right. I need to be like 116. If I'm over 132, they tell me I have high blood pressure. So I have a little bit to work with. Now, plant-based foods, vegan lifestyle and plant-based foods. Plant-based foods, I add 50 ingredients to each meal. Now, I need to beef it up a little bit. I need to gain some body fat. That means I don't eat junk, but I eat it in the way that it's healthy. So I'm still getting my plant-based foods. And I've created a particular type of recipes. So let's say you have a bowl of 16 ounces of your veggies and broth and everything you need in there, beans, rice, whatever, right? You're going to have a fourth of a cup of meat that goes in that, your cup of coffee, a mug-sized bowl, okay? You're going to have like a fourth of that is meat. Meat is turkey, chicken, beef, seafood, anything that is not plant-based is meat. That's a good rule of thumb, all right? So, you have to beef it up. So, what I call like junk food, because it's not homemade, it's junk food. You hit up the delis at the grocery store. It's already pre-made. And the different delis at the different grocery stores, things like that. It's already pre-made. So you hit up that kind of stuff. You can eat some veggie bowls. I like the bowls. I got a couple for this weekend while I'm cooking, because I do it once a week. Friday night, I eat junk food, which is something that I don't prepare. That means I go out and I get it. So I stop off at the health food store, and I got me sushi. I eat sushi about once every 2 or 3 weeks. It's a Friday treat, so that's my junk food. So I do it Friday nights, and I do it all day Saturday because I'm cooking on Saturdays. I cook for the week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 50 ingredients in every meal. Now, I'm beefing up my body fat to get to where I can get anywhere between 125 to 130 pounds. Once I got the body fat, now I'm having no more past exhaustion. Now I'm having the energy to be able to work out. Because nothing like you want to sleep 24/7. So instead of taking prescriptions, I take a lot of herbs. Now, the herbal that I'm taking are always dry goods. I can't swallow pills. Because remember, my esophagus is falling apart because of the radiation cancer treatments. Alright? So I don't swallow pills. If it's not moist and soft, it's not part of my world. Now, I have, like I say, 50 ingredients in every meal. That's 3 meals a day. Snacks and drinks are a little different. Now, basically, I used to just drink a cup of coffee and water. That's it. Now I'm beefing up in order to get past the point of no more exhaustion. I need energy. There are certain herbs that you take for, like, I don't have a thyroid. That was one of my cancers for 28 years now. I take medication, but it's not enough. So I'm taking herbs to help conquer that, so I can get my energy back for my different medical issues. Thyroid, menopause, chronic fatigue, all that shebang. Osteoporosis, all that medical conditions. I take a lot of herbs. And of course, I cook them. And now I'm up to my natural morning coffee. As with all recipes, you try them out for a while, and that works or don't, and then you get rid of some stuff, and you add some stuff. So now my recipe is natural morning coffee, contains 12 different ingredients. And then I'm also doing my morning tea for my medical conditions, and that's 4 ingredients. And then I do my morning coffee. So you got a coffee pot, it's for 4 cups. You're going to take 2. Leave the other 2 for tomorrow. So it's 2 cups. You put it in your coffee mug. 2 cups. Now it's regular coffee. My natural morning coffee is not cocoa beans. It's another kind of bean. So for my coffee, I've got, it's 12 ounces that I've just poured the 2 cups in. Now inside that, I'm going to put a pinch of Himalaya salt, a pinch of sodium bicarbonate, 3 drops of lymphedema supplement, and half a teaspoon of sugar. That is my morning coffee. And remember, in my natural morning coffee, I have the powerhouse of seeds. Flax, chia seed, and sesame seed. Yes, in my coffee. Because this is my first meal of the day. These 3 liquids are my first meal of the day. So this way, I've released my toxins. You know, me and Mr. Restroom are good friends, you know? We're best friends. So you release all your toxins, and then you're ready to start your day. So when I get to work, I've already done my workout. I've already had all my 3 different drinks, because I drink my morning coffee on the way to work. While I'm bumping my beats and everybody's foaming at the mouth trying to get to the freeway. Y'all bore me. Okay. This is my Zen time. Thank you very much. Now, got my 3. And now have added I'd say, yeah, probably in the last 5 months while I'm doing this stocking up of body fat, I'm adding the meat in there. So like I say, you have a certain container, I don't know, maybe 16 ounces of your food, and then you have 4 ounces of meat that go in it. And of course, that's going to be for dinner only. I don't have it for my breakfast and lunch, only for my dinner, because I'm trying to get some poundage of fat, but not crazy fat. So this way, I cannot be on my mower and be able to move without getting my belly stuck on the steering wheel. No, thank you. I'll pass. So for my type of job, I cannot have extra body weight hanging around on the machine because then it gets in the way. And I look at my coworkers that are overweight and I just shake my head. They know not what they do. Why do they frustrate themselves? Who wants to walk around with that extra sack of potatoes? Seriously. Get rid of that crap. And your heart will thank you for it. Now, as I said, this is my first week getting back into the crunches. Now, next week, I will jack it up from 15 crunches a day to 20 crunches a day. I'll level at that for about 2 weeks. Your body needs time to adjust. 2 weeks later, jack it up to 25. 2 weeks later, keep going. There you go, till you get up to 200. Then you're laying on the ground. You raise your feet like an officer and a gentleman. You raise your feet an inch above the ground. And you hold that up till you can count to 200. And I find it makes it a little easier on my lower back if I put my hands under my behind. I don't know, it helps the vertebrae or something. I just find it makes it easier and not so stressful on my back. That's the only thing. And I did that in my 50s. Well, now I'm going to be 61, so I'm starting back in training again. So it's like, I have to play this song and dance again? Well, that means I have no space for cancer anymore. So I've done my 3. I'm good to go for the rest of my life. Always put a positive twist on a negative. I'm good to go now. So that means within 6 months, because, I'm older, so it takes a little more time to get with the program. I'm a little older, so maybe a little longer than 6 months, but I'll be back at the gym because I need to get back up to my 600 crunches. And then I will start, of course, jogging around the tracks, jogging the bleachers, still doing my aerobics, because I am determined this is what I was meant to do, going to these competitions. I want to promote my books, because the books are inspiring, and people that read my books are inspired. I want to bring heart smiles to all the children around the world. And a child is from birth to death, no matter how old you are. Heart smiles and belly laughs. That's what life is all about. Start your training, never too late. Because you're bringing heart smiles to yourself. That is the point and purpose of your existence. And life is love. Love is life. Blessings from Reverend Lewis. And if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for your support.